Hello and welcome to a weekly music show on Arts 24. I'm Jennifer Ben Brahim. Now today I'm joined in the studio by two artists blending together their music with multiculturalism.
Where do we go? Where do we go?
Actress model Hen Yanni is starting a new chapter of her life as a singer-songwriter. Now her lifelong passion is transformed into a debut album called Version of You. Now it's an intimate portrait of her life and journey from Israel to France, told with a new wave twist.
You're on my mind again.
And my other guest describes herself as an alien thanks to her singular outlook on the world and music. Saràh Phenom's music is an empowering blend of R&B, Afropop and electro, and she's set to drop a new EP later this month full of songs you can dance to but also makes you cry. Hello, Hen and Saràh. Thank you so much for being with us on the France 24 studios.
Thank you for having us.
Now, you both have very different musical universes, but what I found really interesting in researching both of you is that you're both quite nomadic in terms of your spirit. You both travelled around a lot. Now, Hen, you were born in Israel, but you moved as a teenager to Europe, and you're now based in France.
Yeah.
And Saràh, you were born in Rwanda, you lived for a while in Belgium, and you're now in and out of London and other big cities. I was wondering, from both of you, do you think that moving away from your home countries really helped you become the artist you are today, given you more freedom? And what do you think?
Definitely. When I was like 15, 16, I was eager to just travel, get out of my own culture, religion, question my, everything again, and see other cultures, as I'm like from such a small country, and I needed to get out and even just to be a bit far from my family, and I think it affected my whole journey as an artist. So that was essential for me.
And you had the same experience as well? Do you feel more free moving to London or other big cities? How did you feel about that?
I feel like, well, definitely. It's always good to discover new cultures in general and just expand your mind. Find yourself outside of your family, your culture, your religion. Yeah.
Now, Hen, we'll start with you first. Your debut album is called Version of You. Now, it deals with quite a lot of themes from identity, sexuality, as well as referencing your childhood. Now, you were born and you grew up in Haifa, in the north of Israel, and that's quite a mixed, culturally mixed city. How did that influence you and your artistry, would you say?
I grew up in this country that there's such a complexity and diversity, but I was always open-minded. My family was open-minded, and we always accept the others. And I think it's I wasn't growing up as a religion, so I felt in that case my parents were really supporting for my freedom, and it took time to expand, but it's.
And what other influences did you have from, say, outside Israel? What other artists were you listening to growing up that made you say, I want to be a singer?
Wow, I think, my first, when I started to travel, even as a model, I guess music was always there for me, and I played guitar, but Bjork, Depeche Mode, Tom York, Nina Simone. My family, I listened to a lot of stuff when I was younger with my family in English. So it was a lot of influence, different timing, but...
We could definitely hear that mix of influences in your new album.
New wave after, when I was more growing up, so that album is a bit inspired. The production is a bit new wave, and
Well, one of the tracks off the album that I absolutely love is also called Version of You. Let's take a quick listen.
I wanna feel hope in the night. Let me share the shape around you. I will hold the weight of the calling truth. I want to draw the time with you. I wanna change.
So that was a version of You by Hen Yanni. Now, your debut album has a lot of titles that really kind of show that it's quite autobiographical in its nature. We have the likes of Where Do We Go, Keep On Moving, Ready to Fight. Was making this album quite a cathartic process for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was basically, it's the diary of my life. I mean, those songs are written in the last 10 years. So for me, it's, every song is a example of different stage of my life, or what I experienced, or if it was a grief of loss of my mother, which that song I wrote it for that, or about my searching my sexuality, my identity. So I traveled a lot, so yeah, I think it's a whole it's the whole
mix
story,
of your life.
mix, yeah, and kind of the puzzle. And I think Version of You, the title is, I wrote it for my mother, but it's the new version of me in a way, and there's so much meanings and layers for this title. So. Yeah.
Now, Sarah, your music is also pretty autobiographical. You really talk about love, heartbreak, but also this kind of notion of female empowerment. I'm interested to know as well, who were you listening to growing up in terms of like empowering female voices?
I was listening to a lot of Beyonce, Rihanna, Janet Jackson.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I think empowering women in music has always been something that I was drawn to. So I was like, I want to be exactly that. I would watch TV and be like, it's going to be me one day. And so, yeah, those people really inspired me to just go ahead and pursue music as a career.
Now, again, we can really see the Janet Jackson, the Beyonce, the Rihanna in this new video that that we're actually going to play for you exclusively. Is called Tesla. Take a look.
Ne me tends pas, avant mon quoi que ce soit, ouais ma Tesla, ouais mais sur Chai, je le fais sans toi, avant mon quoi que ce soit, ouais ma Tesla, ne me tends pas, avant mon quoi que ce soit, ouais ma Tesla, ouais sur Chai, je le fais sans toi, avant mon quoi que ce soit, ouais ma Tesla. Put me in a hot seat, you don't know about me, he got me in a taxi, but he ordered you a taxi, money in the backseat, told me wanna crash me, so men in a self-drive, why they try to catch me, I'm getting money and I get it over.
So that was Tesla by Saràh Phenom. Now, Sarah, it may be called Tesla, but I'm pretty sure it's not about a car. What's the backstory?
Thank you for saying that, because there's so many people that were asking me if it was about the car. It's actually very much about like women knowing their worth and me knowing my worth. In general, there was a person that came to me, had a partner, and were offering certain things, and I was just like, don't come to me, my friends. Where's my Tesla? Like, bring something to the table that is worth like me getting out of my comfort zone type of thing. But yeah, that's what it's about, knowing your worth, and just being like, I'm gonna stay in my place and do my thing with my girls.
A very good message for everyone. Now we move on to one of the big music releases of the week. Coldplay are back with their 10th studio album called Moon Music. Now the British rockers have long been advocates for environmental sustainability, most notably their recent world tour where they cut their CO2 emissions by nearly 60%. Now they're continuing this effort with some of the album's physical copies being made from plastic bottles. Now sustainability aside, the album is really jam-packed, full of collaborations, with a few actually joining them on their tour, such as Burna Boy and Palestinian-Chilean singer Elyanna. Let's listen to one of the tracks called We Pray.
So we pray, someone to come and show me the way. So we pray.
Okay, so that was Coldplay with We Pray. Now, Hen, Pharrell Williams actually spoke out recently in a Hollywood Reporter article about people taking a political stance, saying, you know, we do not need to be endorsing candidates, such as in the upcoming US election. More globally, do you agree with him? Do you think that artists shouldn't use their platform to speak out about politics, about what's going on around the world? What do you think?
Well, I feel I feel everyone should really do whatever they feel. And if they feel they're really involved in politics, I mean, you know, and I appreciate artists that do that, and I think it's important to have a voice. And of course, as an Israeli, I'm for peace. I want like good, and I want to, you know, give good. And but I do it from my art, and yeah, I think I respect everyone. Yeah, and I also respect the artist that speaks through their art, because it's the message too, you know.
Yeah. Now, one very last word. What can we expect from your new EP that's coming out later this month? Can you tease us a little bit?
A lot of fun.
Okay.
Different sonorities, and a lot of introspection.
Okay, very good, very mysterious. We can't wait to listen to it. I want to thank my two guests today, Hen and Sarah, for joining me in the studio. A reminder that Hen's debut album is called Version of You, and if I'm right in saying so, you've got a residency at Silencio every month starting now, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
perfect.
already happened. Like, I'm DJing there and I do my nights. Yes.
Oh, perfect. So you can catch Hen there. And Sarah's new single Tesla is out now, and her EP is out on the 25th of October. Before we go, here's another album I want to talk about. It's my album of the week. It's called Cutouts by The Smile. Now, it's the second EP of 2024 for the supergroup consisting of Radiohead's Tom York and Johnny Greenwood and Sons of Kemet's drummer Tom Skinner. We'll leave you with the track Zero Sum. Now, for more arts and culture, you can head to our website or follow us on social media. There's more news coming up after this.